how's it going? My name is Brian. I just want to start by saying it's really nice to be in Dundee. I've never been here before. And when I was coming in on the train, I couldn't help but notice this amazing structure dominating the landscape, so I looked out the window a wee bit, and it was amazing to think just how one big structure can really define a city, and it's such an amazing feat of engineering, and it's by far the biggest Tesco I've ever seen. I'm an immunologist, so I study the immune system, and more importantly, or more specifically even, I study broken immune systems because I work on autoimmune diseases, and it's quite interesting, but a career in science isn't exactly what I planned. I initially wanted to do medicine way back when, and my first, I suppose, introduction to medicine, or fuck that, science, was in secondary school. There was a guy a few years ahead of me, he heard I wanted to do medicine, and he said, "Oh, you want to do medicine? Try some biology, it's cool, it's easy, you'll like it." I thought, he's from a fairly decent, respectable family, so I trusted him, and I took some biology for medicinal purposes. And it was amazing, it opened up my mind to this whole new world. It was alluring and attractive, there were fallopian tubes and yeast and worms, I don't know. And, but it was amazing, and I was at that time where I thought I was invincible. I was like, I'm going to go to university and I'm going to study biology and there's nothing you can do to stop me. So off I went. I went to college and I studied undergrad, university level biology. And of course that goes hand in hand with undergrad, university level chemistry. So already you're getting into some heavy shit. Before you know it, you're doing biochemistry, right? And that's again progressing. It's, you're getting even further down. It's biochemistry, you're knee deep in complex chemicals. You've no idea what these chemicals are doing, but you're enjoying it way too much to fucking care. Next thing you know, you're dealing science. You're selling science for money. Your temperature sinks so fucking low. You're giving tutorials to anyone who listens. And you're like, oh, this is disgusting. Oh God, I can't even look at myself in the mirror anymore. But you know what? The money is fantastic, and you like being able to afford meat with your potatoes, so you keep going. Basically, the only way to break free of this endless downward spiral of science and bad decisions is to sell your soul to a science cartel. And that's what I did. I joined the lab group at the University of Glasgow, and I'm currently I'm taking a stab at a PhD. It's really just been a prolonged exercise in keeping a low profile around the lab. I'm about halfway through my sentence at the moment, and I've had time lately to reflect on my life choices. How did I end up here? Is this how I wanted to live my life? I get down on myself. Come on, man. You're 24 years old. You're a young foreigner in an exotic land. You should be going camping or having anonymous sex in public toilets, not hold up like that. Come on, look at yourself. And it's very hard not to compare myself to a lot of my friends. They got their degrees and they left. They're travelling the world, having a fucking amazing time. Or if you're in the Irish media, emigrating. But some of them have kids, and that's a hard thing to get my head around. Kids. Offspring. My mate has a son. I don't even have a bike. But I can somewhat console myself in the fact that in my research I work with cells, and that's like having millions of kids at once. Because just like real kids, these cells need attention and washing and feeding. But unlike my mates with their real life kids, if I get fed up with my kids, I can just fuck a load of bleach on them. But no, I work on rheumatoid arthritis. It's an autoimmune disease, and it affects approximately 1% of the world's population. So basically, your immune system goes batshit crazy and starts attacking your joints. And there's chronic inflammation, localized to the joints, and there's mass infiltration of immune cells, and it's really, really painful for the patients, and it causes, bone and cartilage erosion. It's awful. I suppose, as an example of this, maybe imagine you're at home late at night, and you're woken by the sound of an intruder. In order to defend yourself against this perceived danger, you arm yourself with a hammer. I'm left-handed. And then you start smacking yourself in the knees, and in the ankles, and in the fingers, and in the elbows, and it's chronic, and it's constant, and it won't stop, and we don't know why. So, as researchers in the field of rheumatology, we ask three fundamental questions. Why is this happening? Why is it localized to the joints? And why won't it stop? So, I wasn't expecting a laugh for that, but okay. But to address that first question, why is it happening? You can consult any journal or paper worth their salt, and they'll tell you that the risk of developing rheumatoid arthritis is an unfortunate combination of abnormal genetics, environmental risk factors, and just plain bad luck. So it's a lot like being born in Aberdeen. I work in translational immunology. It's a very interesting field. So as a basic research scientist, I work in close collaboration with clinicians and rheumatologists who are on the front line battling this horrible disease. My boss is a doctor, so for me as a basic scientist, it's quite interesting. It means you don't have to wait for a conference or a paper to come out in order to get some new opinions. And also it means, as a scientist, we can hear firsthand the opinions of doctors on key scientific theories, which is always a fucking laugh. But no, I want to be serious for a second, I suppose, because my research took on a very personal note as of late. My dad is only 53, and just last week I was told that he has the early signs of rheumatoid arthritis. So I'm sure you can understand this is a very difficult time for me. It was very short notice for coming up with new material. But with that in mind, I think I'll just try something a little bit different for now. I think because tonight is European Researchers' Night, I think it's important to tell the public and non-science folk that scientists aren't just living in their ivory tower. Mine's more of a third floor tenement flat. But it's we do normal things like voting. And I'm in a very interesting and quite possibly illegal situation right now of being eligible to vote in 2 different countries at the same time. So I wanted to exercise my right as a non-tax-paying foreigner to have my say on how Scotland should be governed. So I want to tell you about how I used the power of genetics to decide on who to vote for in the recent general election. Now this is a bit heavy for a Friday night, so please bear with me, right? Okay, so a gene is an awful lot like a House of Parliament. You've got a defined number of subunits. Each one of these subunits is made up of one of 4 or 5 different types. Some of these get along with each other, some of them don't. In a normally functioning gene now, the ones who get along with each other, fine, and that's nice. The ones who don't, and that's also fine. And you've got a nicely functioning gene, and the status quo is maintained. No! Every now and again, due to evolutionary pressure or stress, one of these subunits will be replaced by a subunit of another type. When that happens, it's called a single nucleotide polymorphism, or SNP. So SNPs come along and they cause great change, apparently, allegedly in science anyway. And if it happens in a geographically relevant situation, it can change how that gene expresses itself. And I think that's a nice analogy for life. SNPs cause change. But unfortunately, as that's where that analogy ends really, because as a diligent and responsible scientist, it would be very irresponsible of me not to mention that not all SNPs are good, some cause disease. Let's be honest, 57 SNPs in the same gene would undoubtedly cause fetal abnormalities. But for lack of a better or more popular punchline to that one, just some life lessons again, because it is Researchers' Night. Scientists are people too. Basically, I want to impart some wisdom I think anyone can take with them in life and, live. And basically, okay, well the first one is for young PhD students in general. Postdocs are like puppies. Don't get too attached, because most of them will be gone by New Year's. And then the next one, they're a bit more general. Okay, so first, if someone in a more senior position than you starts off with a sentence with, and as I'm sure you're aware, it will always be followed by something you weren't even remotely aware of. Secondly, if you sleep in the mornings, don't bother going into work until the afternoon. People will just assume you're coming back from lunch. And finally, if you go around carrying an empty poster tube without ever making any reference to it, people tend to believe any old bullshit you come out with. So